A bucket of Modelo's.
This is big time. Made his night. Doesn't take much, right?
Simple guy.
Simple guy. Simple guy.
Simple guy.
No doubt. Look at this.
Now, you hadn't drank a beer. We talked about this, right, in our interview. What was the gap?
Yes, we started doing that with our team a couple years ago. We call it like in-season sacrifice. We had been studying LeBron James, giving up social media during the playoffs. I think Tom Brady gives up beer during the season, or he did one season. So the whole idea is just sacrifice. So everybody in our season does that. You know, a common one for our players is maybe no Netflix during the season or no social media after 9 p.m. or something. So
after 9,
me and Bob Donald, we gave up beer and fried food. So
did you lose a few lbs?
You know, as disappointing as it was to lose to Purdue in the second round, about 8 minutes later.
Go ahead.
Where'd you go?
We went Wendy's chicken nuggets, which I don't even really like Wendy's chicken nuggets, but when you haven't had fried food in 7 months, man.
It didn't matter.
And then the beer was Dos Equis.
There you go.
Yeah, well, there you go. What's it like for you coming here now? Like, years ago, you could come here and be Mr. Obscurity. Nobody knew who that. I mean, Jukes knew who you were. That was about it, right? D2s, Jukes. Now you walk around and people know who you are. Have you gotten used to that?
Yeah, and I enjoy it. I don't ever take that for granted. You know, I think coming up and coaching, coming to the Final Four, all the memories we have. You know, driving all night to get here, crashing on somebody's floor. Give me your best memory. What was your best story of kind of a Final Four from yesteryear? Okay, so this is one I don't tell often, but this is the field of 68, right?
There you go.
Yes.
You can say anything.
Where it all goes down.
It stays between us.
So Brett Tanner and I, we were coaching in junior college, and Brett's now the head coach. Abilene Christian had a great season. And we were in Indianapolis, and we had arrived really late one night, and so we drove all night to get there. And our hotel didn't start till the next day. So that night, we just wanted to try to find basically a place to crash in a car for a couple hours. And we found this parking garage in downtown Indy. And looking back, I don't know why we didn't realize this, but when we got in the parking garage, we had no problem getting it in, and they didn't charge us or anything. And there was no cars in there. So we pulled up to about the third level, and we just tried to get a couple hours sleep, you know, lean the cars back in the old school sedan, like a Taurus or something. Shout out to anybody that drives Taurus. But we're woken a couple hours earlier with just this sound of like a machine gun or something, and basically they were spray painting the garage.
Oh no!
And we were in the garage.
Oh,
and so
you weren't supposed to be in the
car
garage.
is getting popped a little bit with paint. Tanner gets up here, sleep in our eyes, and we're just trying to get out of there. So, yeah, true story. I should cross-reference that with Brett Tanner sometime. Where we go from there?
That's fantastic.
No, you got plenty of other stories. A lot of them, we know we can't if they involve Chris Ogden or I'm not sure we can tell those. What was this season like for you? You know, I ranked you preseason number 2, probably too high looking back on it, but it was probably more giving you credit. And honestly, you go into the portal and you get a lot of the top number transfers, the guys that we ranked high. You had a heck of a year, and I tell people that all the time. I'm like, listen, just to have Texas where you can win a tournament game this year in year one, probably a win if I had told you that prior to the season. But again, you raise the expectations. What did you learn from last year going portaling that you will use this year?
Yeah, I think, first of all, in the season overall, just really proud of our players. You know, we never asked for those outside expectations early, but we understood why. I think really it was a credit to our players and a compliment to them. We knew it was going to be a journey with a new team and a bunch of new players, but I was really proud of these guys. I thought we were playing our best basketball late in the season when it mattered most. Certainly our first-round win against a Virginia Tech team that had just won the ACC championship and beat North Carolina, who's playing now, and Duke's playing now. So I'm really proud of this year's team. I thought we had a great season. Obviously, the expectations are not to win one game in the NCAA tournament when you're at Texas, but I thought we laid the foundation for a lot of things coming. What did we learn? I think you learn stuff every season. I think, you know, in this new age of college basketball with the name, image, and likeness and the portal and all this stuff that's kind of changed, I think we're no different than anybody else. I think we learned some things. We strengthened some things we already knew. And I think moving forward, you know, as we put teams together, there were certainly some lessons learned this year that we can benefit from.
Do you find yourself tapering some of the expectations of others because you're at Texas, right? And let's be honest, with your success and what everyone expects from you, when you arrive there, do you find yourself saying, "Hey, let me, I need not time to be successful because we knew that was going to happen, but ultimately you want to win a national championship." But do you find yourself tapering the outside expectations down in Texas?
No, because no one has higher expectations than we have on ourselves. Like we thought we had a team this year that could be here in New Orleans playing, and we did. We finished 4th in the Big 12. We, beat Kansas, who's still playing. We obviously beat a really good Virginia Tech team, and I think Purdue's good enough to be here. So my thing in college basketball every year is there's a handful of teams that have a chance to win 6 games in 3 weekends. I don't know what that number is. Is that 10, 12, 8? But I thought this year we were one of those teams. Now, everything had to go right. We didn't have much margin for error. But no, expectations are always going to be the same at Texas. We want to play in Final Fours.
You talk about how much the sport has shifted and how it's ever changing. From the time that you got into the industry to now, how has your role changed?
There you go. It's going to be a while.
So the first time I think I watched the show, man, I turned it on and you're drinking a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
When was that, preseason?
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he cracked open a Miller Lite with Sean
We have an
Marks.
opener
Is
here?
that twist or bottle opener?
I don't know. It's not.
Looks like it's going to take some work for Fana.
Terrence has it.
Do we have bottle openers here on the Phillips 68?
I think we,
I'm pretty sure we do.
Foster's teeth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure we can get one from the bar.
We'll get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get one. It'll be
Well, I think, roles always
Look
change.
at that. T.O. Got another
There
one?
you go.
Keep
There
going,
you go.
T.O.
Make it work.
It's Modelo time.
Guy got skills.
Tennessee guys know how to open a beer. To be clear.
I think you need one of these to answer the question
Pretty good.
I asked you. Oh, it's fantastic.
You a
And
lo-
it goes down like water.
You a lime guy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a
T.O.,
lime
you
guy.
were doing so well. So well before that one.
Modelo's to start
Hey.
the night. Hurricane as the night goes on. We just keep rising and rising.
Yeah.
And you never know. You could end up at a blackjack table with him.
Very true. You don't want to do that.
How are we doing?
Not well. Not well. Going back to Puerto Rico in December, not good. When Talia won money and I lost money. Vegas a couple weeks ago, not good. And now here in New Orleans.
I don't know
Maybe
when
I
it's
should
been
stop.
good for you, Jeff. You might need
I
to
think
dial it
I
back
need
a little
to
bit.
Stop it.
Need to dial it back a little
I
bit.
think I need to stop. All right, so you were here. You were at the Final Four a few years ago. What is it like as a coach?
Well,
What are these guys going through?
I've been at the Final Four every year for
All
about
right, but
30
you
years.
coach.
Oh,
Coach, I'm not talking about, I know you're a bystander. You would be, in Bourbon Street. How many years? 10 years ago. I guarantee you were walking down Bourbon 10 years ago. What were you doing in New Orleans?
10 years ago. Is that when it was here last?
Yeah, Kentucky, Louisville.
I think, make sure I'm being factual here, but I think we had played in the NIT that year,
Is that
and so
right?
we were a day late coming here. And I also think we were the last team to ever play in the third place game. We played in the third place game in the NIT.
They don't do that again?
I don't think so. Used to play that out.
So anyway.
So we were day late getting here.
What's it like coaching in this event? Like, and you were a rookie doing it. I know you reached out to a bunch of coaches, but the jitters, there had to be nerves. You're walking out there on Saturday night and then Monday night.
Yeah, it's definitely a different deal. Anybody that tells you different, it's not being factual. I mean, it's a bigger arena, just the whole thing. So I know when we played, we spent a lot of time preparing for it. I remember specific conversations with Frank Martin about his run and just some things like that. So I think there is an advantage to teams that have been here before, players that have played in this deal before. I think there's an advantage for sure.
I want to know, were you more nervous on Monday night of the championship game or when you walked back out in Lubbock onto the court?
Wow.
Yeah, we knew we were going to get that question, man.
knew it was coming.
You knew.
It's
It's like a bingo card.
I got no problem with the question. You think we're going to be sitting here in 10 years still talking about it, though?
Yes, absolutely. No, we won't. There'll be I don't know how many years. We'll go, how's this? After the 1 year anniversary, I'm no longer allowed to ask you about
That's on the record. Everybody see that?
He's so
It's
excited.
documented right
He's
now.
so excited
They're putting
about
that out
this.
on Twitter.
And if you break your word,
Yes.
what's the penalty?
I don't know. Whatever anybody comes up with.
Well, let's see. What can we have him do?
I
Is there
think,
something down in Austin he could do, like get on a bowl or like an activity down there?
Yeah, I think 12 Modelo's and a round trip ticket to Vegas.
Done.
Wow.
Okay. Done. Absolutely.
like it.
We're on. Right. All right, now answer the damn question.
First class?
No, first
Okay.
class.
Yeah, first class.
What are we going
Amp it
for
up.
here? Come on.
Yeah.
I got to pay for Talia's education the next 4 years. Come on.
Well, I'm not a nervous guy. I don't get nervous, but I understand the question. So, both were big moments.
Mm-hmm.
Both were kind of games that kind of had an asterisk next to it for sure. So, you were in Lubbock. It was an awesome atmosphere, great game. And obviously, when you get a chance to coach in the Final Four, there's nothing like it.
I mean, you built that. Like, that was the thing, Beard, is like that crowd was so good, and you built that into that. Like, that's the thing. Like, I was there a couple of years ago when you guys played Kentucky, and I'll still say, like, that's what you want to get in Austin, isn't
Yep.
it? That's what you aspire to be able to do, is get those fans that revved up. They're out there before the games. Both. When you play Kentucky, beer trucks, fans are handing me beers, food trucks, everything. I mean, I haven't seen anything else like that. And again, listen, I'll say it to anybody. You got it there. You did that. And I think, to me, you need to embrace that. Like, it's amazing what you were able to build there.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. When people say that, I consider it an opinion, a compliment. But I'm pretty quick to say it wasn't just me. You know,
No,
I think,
of course not.
I think Keenan Evans and Jarrett Culver and Noren Sadiase and Tariq Owens and Davide Moretti and a lot of players had a lot to do with that too. But I appreciate when people say that because I am proud of everywhere we've been. It's like I'm proud of Little Rock and Angelo State and Fort Scott Community College and Seminole. So for sure. We're really proud of what we're building in Austin too. I mean, it's happening and it's happening quicker. I don't know if people say, are you ahead of schedule? I kind of think we are. You know, we
are.
had multiple sellouts this year in the Irwin Center. Our student section was sold out every game. The students were in session. And of course, next year we're going into the new arena on campus. There's not going to be a better place to play basketball. So, we got things going in the right direction for sure.
How about what would it mean if the Field of 68 came on location for a show inside that new arena?
With Goodman or without Goodman?
Whatever you
Goodman's
want.
paying for our travel.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would prefer maybe – I'd like hanging out with Goodman, but I prefer the non-Goodman
New
show.
Texas Arena,
I'm doing
Field of
Austin.
68 do a live show?
It's because I asked the tough questions.
Are we in?
Yeah.
Are we in?
Are we in?
Yes.
Shake
Live
on
show.
that.
Yes.
Shake on that.
Yeah,
Let's
shake.
go. I don't even need. Hey.
Taking
Can we
you
get some
aside.
doors open?
I'm bringing my cowboy.
Hey,
hat.
We gotta get him a beer.
I'll get my cowboy hat ready.
Yeah,
I'll get my boots out.
Chris, I
Yeah,
gotta
we're
ask you
trying
about your
over
team
there.
next year.
Well,
I'm
what
sure
do we
you don't
need
know.
for it? We need like an outdoor location.
Oh, we
indoor?
need-
Where are we going?
Depends on the weather.
For the weather.
Right?
Texas,
Depends on
right?
the weather. I mean,
We will
weather's a
come
lot
down.
better than in Boston.
No offense. I mean, this stuff's really fancy. Can we do it more my way to some lawn chairs? And
Done.
a little bonfire?
Yes,
Oh, are you
absolutely.
kidding? Get a cooler.
Absolutely.
come to the house.
Come out with us. Night before.
We'll put
That's
the guys
deal.
on the grill.
You like Coach K? Do you have a bobblehead like that?
I do not.
Look at that.
I wish I could have this
Isn't
right
that
here.
awesome?
For Randolph there?
goat.
Okay.
I'm good right here.
Who's,
Chris,
does
that's
he have
Chris's.
one?
That's Chris's.
That's yours.
Who
man.
is? So Sean Miller would say this year. He thought Bill Self is the best coach in college basketball. He literally said that. The best coach in college basketball. Who is the guy that you do not want to see on the other end? And don't give me like 5 names. Give me one name. One name that you do not want to coach against.
Brian Bird, because he's one of my assistants, and I don't like playing against those guys. So, no, I think when you start talking about the best coach in college basketball, there's probably a handful of guys. And to me, Coach Self is absolutely in that category. To me, what separates guys is consistency. You think about what Coach K and all those guys have just created over time with consistency, and I think Coach Self's run in the Big 12 speaks for itself.
How many of your guys have you had conversations with that can come back? Have you had any of those conversations with guys that's eligible to come back, that can come back, or that, there's so much going on right now with the portal and testing and everything else? Is there any confirmation from your roster about guys that have played for you this past year coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is, when the season ends, it's always so emotional. You've gone through this journey, but you got to talk at some point. So what we always tell the guys is the day after the season, hey, we'll meet with each of you tomorrow. We're not going to talk about specific things. Again, it's emotional. The season just ended, but we want to communicate clearly. So right now, I think we're in a pretty good place with all of our guys just communicating. Some of our guys are going through processes different times. Some of them have committed to coming back. And like the other day, one example of many, Christian Bishop jumped back on board and saw value in coming back and playing another year of college basketball. So we're really happy to have several of our guys back on board, and a couple of the other guys are kind of going through a process right now, which I support.
Right.
Yeah.
Finish this sentence for me. coaching in the Big 12 is like?
I still want a Pat Knight line that I love this one, man. It's like, what'd Pat say? It's like being Daniel in the lion's den wearing a meat necklace.
That's pretty quotable.
Shout out to PK. How about that line? Think about that.
That's an amazing line, but it sums it up. What you did at Texas Tech, what Baylor did last year, what Kansas has done this year. Like, you have to go through it night after night. We debate best conference. What is it specific to the Big 12 that sets it apart?
I think, I can't speak for some of the other leagues I've never coached in, but in the Big 12, there's nothing better. Some of those guys might be as good, but the fact that we play everybody home and home every year, your place, our place, obviously the coaching's off the charts. Hall of Fame coaches, including Coach Huggins. We get that deal done yet?
He did.
He's in.
Here's to Coach Huggins.
That's right.
Long overdue.
No doubt.
Huggy Bear, baby.
Shout out to Coach.
We got to try to get him on the show tonight.
Yes.
I don't know. He's probably he might be having a few of these.
I'll come back and be just a fan.
You would, wouldn't you? You'd be peering through that, right? We all would. Hearing those stories. Listen, as good as your stories are,
he's the best.
Get AK, Hugs, Frank Martin. Just listen to them doing this.
Those are good ones.
Oh, they're elite level.
Yeah.
P-Champ, just sitting outside in Augusta. All right, so by the way, we do have an announcement here. Chris Beard needs a +1 for the Final Four coaches ceremony tomorrow. Is this true?
Yes. Randy's back in Austin right now. My girls are all doing stuff like that, so blessed to be going to the Final Four jacket deal tomorrow. Excited about it, but I got the +1. So I think what we're going to do.
in the pool.
Yeah, Vanna's in the pool.
There's a pool of applicants right now. So if you guys are interested, hit us up in the chat now. You can put yourself in the pool.
For the record, this is the most stress I've felt
this
since
is a lot of
leading
pressure.
into the high school prom. I mean, I was on the bubble. Like, last 4 in, first 4 out for Brandy. She wasn't sure if she was. That was my high school,
I'd like to take somebody really interesting, like you guys heard the Mr. Bojangles story, Jerry Jeff Walker down here, Mr. Bojangles,
Wait.
street dancer. Did you know that?
No, you have to tell this now. I've never heard this.
It's my understanding. Jerry Jeff Walker is one of the best country musicians ever from Texas, and I'm friends with his son now back in Austin. But he spent a night here in New Orleans and met an interesting man, and then wrote a great song about it, Mr. Bojangles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you guys Google that.
Wow.
All the viewers out here, check that out. Jerry Jeff Walker, Mr. Bojangles.
Who's opening? I'll let you go after this, but who's opening the new arena in Austin next year?
Joe Golding.
No, not
Music?
Field of 68.
Yes. You were so excited about this. Who was it?
I think Willie Nelson's coming. See, they say they have soft openings, this opening, this opening.
But
opening.
Willie's coming.
Yeah, and then I think
That's-
George Strait's coming.
I mean,
at
your
some point.
favorite is who? If you could go to one concert,
Wow.
who would it be?
That's tough. That's like asking who's your favorite player.
That's why I'm asking you.
You have one daughter, right? So
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
says,
it's easy.
who's your favorite?
It's easy. You got
kids?
3.
Yes, 3.
How many? Yeah, so
3.
who's your favorite kid? Yeah.
Nice. Love them all. Depends which day it is.
No shot.
So Goodman asks these questions like that, man.
That's
It's
why
like,
he's
it's like a
good.
loaded
That's
question.
why he's
How'd you meet this guy?
It is.
How'd you meet him?
Well, why do you tolerate him? That's the
Basketball.
question. You're the only guy that
Like,
likes
God,
Basketball.
God bless you.
I'll tell you why I tolerate him, and most of the time like him, is because you can say whatever you want about Goodman, but Goodman keeps his word.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like if Goodman tells you he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
There's no question
So
about
when we
that.
got the Little Rock job a couple years ago, coming from Division II, we weren't the most popular hire in Arkansas, but
didn't even know where you were.
Expectation.
Remember?
I disappeared for a while.
You did.
And I think they picked us last in the league and what have you. So, but at the first of the season, I told Goodman, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, we got a pretty good team, man. And I was like, I think we can make the NCAA tournament. And then Goodman said, come on, man, it's your first year and all that. And I'm telling you, man. I said, well, hey, if we make the NCAA tournament, will you be there? And he said, yeah. And at the time, thinking, whatever. Well, here we
no
go.
shot. I'm like,
Not only
course.
do we have the best season in school history, we had
Was
the
that in
best
Denver?
season in conference history. Yeah.
Yeah, Denver.
So we get to Denver and we're playing Purdue in the first
right.
round.
Yes.
And I literally walking out to the game.
No, you're walking in the door.
To the
you're
game.
walking in the door to the game through the security.
Yeah. And then Goodman, I
I'm
told you
waiting
I'd be
for
here,
it.
man.
I'm literally waiting for it.
That's
I
amazing.
changed
Yeah.
shit up to be able to be at that. I changed everything up. I was at ESPN. I remember changing everything. The coolest part of that game
It was a great game.
by far was standing. I didn't know his daughters at that time. Your two daughters, your two oldest were there, standing by themselves. Kind of the media was here. They're standing by themselves, so I just went over and stood with them and just kind of hung out with them as they were watching. And I mean, imagine they're watching their dad beat Purdue after, again, this is a guy that had grinded it from the AVA to Division 3, 2, Arkansas, Little Rock. Like,
I think there was a Division 4, John.
there might have been. You might have had it. If there is a Division 4, you probably coached him. All right. Well, listen.
Hey, go.
Great seeing you.
Chris
As
Beard.
always.
Does he wear these sports coats every show, man?
Yeah, we broke it out.
You don't like it?
Barrel.
He's got his Taylor traveling with him.
Wait. Why do you still?
Can I borrow that to wear to the deal tomorrow?
It's a little tight. I don't think. I think you know.
Come on, man. I mean, I got this going in the right direction.
You do.
Somebody stopped me
Catch
on
you
the
out
road
to
the
a
other
few
day.
pounds
goes,
of chicken, huh?
Yeah,
In
somebody
another
made a
couple
comment the other day. I was like, dude, you should have seen me 6 months ago, man.
During season, it's tough.
Hey, a lot of
Are you
respect
kidding?
for you guys, man. Y'all
Thanks.
made college basketball better this year. It was awesome.
Thank you,
Appreciate it,
Chris.
man.
Appreciate it.
Chris,
Great
good luck,
seeing
man.
you. See you in
Good luck,
Austin
man.
next
Good luck.
year.
See you, brother.
Done,
We'll see you.
done. Yes.